day 24 in Algebra 2. And I need to unfreeze my screen so you can see what I'm doing. All right, we are taking our practice quiz today, and this will also be counting as your day 24. Oh, sorry, not day 24, it's day 25. I think I did that to geometry. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Bichel. I was wrong. Day 25. So this is your day 25 exit ticket. And of course, if you don't finish today, it's just due by Friday, September 19th. And you'll make sure to put your name on it. I will write answer guide. All right, so let's look at the first page. Here we have 4 problems on page 1, and they are all expressions. There's no equations on this page, so you're not solving for anything. You are going to evaluate each expression using the given values for x, y, and z. So something that I might suggest to keep you organized is we're going to be using these 3 values for all 4 questions. So my advice would be to go ahead and start writing those values above each expression. So for number 1, I have all 3. I have y here. I see y is -5. So I might put a little -5 above it. X, I have 2. Z, I have -3. Now, whenever we are evaluating expressions with given values, all we're doing is rewriting that problem, but instead of the variables, we write the numbers. So for number 1, I'm just going to bring down this whole thing, cross off my variables, and replace with numbers. So what am I bringing down in these absolute value bars?
-2 times -5 plus 2.
Plus 2. Okay, so -2 times -5 plus 2 in absolute value bars. And now I have plus -3 at the end. I could write plus -3, but I could also just write -3, couldn't I?
Yeah.
I could. It'd be the same thing. So we can go back to that foldable we made and remember which step that we are on. I know right now what I just did is step 1. I substituted my values. So now step 2, it says simplify the absolute values. That's anything inside the bars. So we're going to ignore -3 for now, and we're going to simplify what's inside of here. So what should I do first?
Take -2 times -5.
Okay, what does that give me?
+10.
Yes, +10 plus 2.
You're going to get 12.
Yes. So we have 10 plus 2. Now let's bring our absolute value bars down. We're going to do it one step at a time. Bring down -3. So at this point, we have not finished simplifying the absolute values. So we're still on step 2.
12.
We're going to add those together. 10 plus 2 is 12. Bring down the absolute value bars. -3. And now, once you have just one number in the absolute value bars, we have officially simplified the absolute values. So, what is the absolute value of +12?
-12. It's just 12.
It's 12.
Yeah.
Absolute value is always positive. Always positive. So we're going to just bring down 12 minus 3, remove the bars, And 12 minus 3 is 9.
You'd like a slice of pizza.
Yes, and if you've done it in a nice organized way, you may end up with this nice V shape, which is what we like to see with expressions. And that is number 1. Number 2 will be the exact same thing, but obviously the problem is a little bit different. So before we do anything, we're going to start right back at step 1. Substitute the value for the variable. So starting at the beginning, I have z, that's negative 3, minus x, 2. Then I have plus more absolute value, 2 minus y is negative 5. Now be very careful whenever you have minus a negative. We're going to be very careful to bring that minus down with us every step of the way. So when I rewrite my expression, I'm going to bring everything down except the variables. 3, absolute value. Now I have negative 3 minus 2
Plus.
Plus.
Two. Or just negative 5.
Yeah, so we have 2 minus, and don't forget that 5 is still negative 5. So we're done with step 1. We've substituted our values. The variables are gone. And I'll just zoom in a little bit. Now, step 2, we want to simplify the absolute values. So we can do both of them at the same time. Let's start with the first one. I have negative 3 minus 2, which is negative 5. And I'm going to cross that out as I go. What am I missing on my negative 5?
Your absolute value.
Absolute value bars. We need those. And I'll bring down my 3 as well. And then I'll keep going. I've got plus. And I'm going to go ahead and bring down my absolute value bars for this one.
7.
Yeah, so now I have 2 minus negative 5. We can remember the rule that those minus negative ends up turning into a plus. Or if you don't want to have to memorize a rule or you think you might forget, just type it in your calculator. 2 minus negative 5.
7.
7. Okay. Now we're going to notice both of our absolute values have just one number inside. So we can go to the next step. What is the absolute value of negative 5? It is 5. It is 5. So I'll bring that down. Now somebody, by raising your hand, don't just shout it out. What happens with this 3 that was on the outside? What happens? Oh, wait, I want to give somebody else a chance. Give somebody else I know y'all got it. I know y'all got it. Somebody else. What happens with this 3? Yes, you're right. That's okay. Yes, Rhonda, we are going to bring that 3 down. And remember, these absolute value bars act like parentheses. Once we get rid of them, we can turn it into that. And now we have a distribution or a multiplication problem. That's what that is. We would multiply. Then I'll bring down my plus an absolute value of 7. What is that? Rhonda. 7. Okay. So now we're here. We still need to do a little more. 3 times 5 plus 7. What do I do first? Okay, so 3 times 5 does give me 15. I'll bring down my plus 7. And now it's just 15 plus 7, which when I type that in, yes, I get positive 22. And circle your answer. Please, please, please circle your answers. That's going to help me a lot. Okay, before we move on to the next 2 questions, do we have anything we're confused about in numbers 1 or 2? Yes.
The second thing,
Mm-hmm.
where it says 2 negative 5.
Oh, so 2 minus negative 5.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
Okay, so here's what we do. Basically, we see in the original problem it said 2 minus y. So I'm taking 2 and I'm subtracting whatever y is. So in our calculator, we would just type it in like this. 2 minus, so there's my 2 minus, and then y was negative 5. So at this point, I type in my negative sign, which is down at the bottom, 5. And it'll look like that, 2 minus negative 5. When I hit enter, I get my positive 7.
How are we supposed to multiply?
So there's a couple of ways that you can think of it, and multiplying is one way. I'll show you that way on a sticky note. So if I ever have something like this, 2 minus negative 5, if you want to think of it in the multiplication way, we're thinking of it like we have minus negative, or we could think of this as a negative that's being distributed. And a negative times a negative is a positive. Those 2 minuses come together, and we would bring down the 5 and the 2. And now we have 2 plus 5, which is 7. Does that make a little more sense?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So you can do it either way. You can type it in, or you can know that those 2 negatives, or the minus negative, makes plus, makes positive. Are there any other questions or confusions for 1 or 2? Okay, we'll go ahead and do 3 and 4 now. Now I have the absolute value of y plus 3 times the absolute value of z. So I'm going to go back to those original values. Y is negative 5. Z is negative 3. And at step 1, we're still just substituting the variable. So I'll get rid of my y and my z. I'll bring everything down except the variables. Absolute value, negative 5, plus 3. Absolute value, negative 3. I like to make my bars nice and obvious. That helps me. Because if not, I'm going to think that's like, I don't know, a 1 or a 51, or it's easy to mix up. Try to make them obvious. So now that I've substituted the value for my variable, I'm done with step 1. For step 2, I would love for someone to raise your hand and tell me, what am I doing at step 2? What do I do next? Kelsey.
You're gonna get the absolute value of negative 5 and negative 3.
Okay.
Bring those down.
So
For
what's
-5,
that?
it'll be 5.
Perfect. And
Negative 3, it'll be 3.
perfect.
Just bring those 3 down.
Okay. So as I am bringing things down, I'm going to make a mistake, and I want you to tell me what's not okay about this. Okay, so I brought down my 5, I brought down my 3, and then I brought down my other 3. Is this correct?
So
What's missing?
your
A plus sign?
the quotations.
my parentheses. So guys, this is super easy to get mixed up on. Anytime there's a number right outside of absolute value, if there's not a plus in between or a minus in between, it's multiplication. This is going to be 3 times 3, right? Okay. Yes, yes. So I'm glad we addressed that because that's something that I'm sure we may get mixed up on. So when you bring that down, this is being multiplied. And now we have 5 plus 3 times 3. Will I do 5 plus 3 first?
No.
What will I do
3
first?
times 3.
3 times 3. Don't forget your order of operations. Multiplication and division before addition. So 3 times 3 is 9.
Plus 5.
Bring down my plus, bring down my 5. And we get 14. Yes, Melena. About the -3, how it became +3? How it becomes multiplication. Okay, so another side note. This is a great thing to put on your practice quiz if you struggle with this. Anytime there is a number, I'll give an example, 3 outside of -3. I'm just going to use the one we just did. This means 3 times the absolute value of -3. That's the same thing. Or you could also say 3 times -3 absolute value. Both are the same. For example, another one, let's say I have 5 outside of the absolute value of -10. What does this mean? It's going to be, yes, 5 times the absolute value of -10. Or, bless you, right, or you could think of it as 5 parentheses, absolute value -10. Anytime you see a number outside, this is multiply. Multiplication. So this is just a rule, basically. We just need to remember that absolute value bars are a grouping symbol. It's a symbol that groups items, just like parentheses. If you ever have a number outside of grouping symbols, you're multiplying that number. Yes.
Multiplication inside the absolute value.
Only if it's something like in number 1. So in case you didn't hear, Beachell asked, is there ever multiplication inside the absolute value? Only if you have a number in front of a variable like this. I had -2y, y was -5. That means -2 times -5. This was multiplication, right? The only time there won't be something to tell you that it's being multiplied is if you have that number right next to the grouping symbol, the absolute value, and there's nothing that says to add, subtract, or divide. If there's a number outside or right next to, it's multiplication. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Any other questions? These are great questions. Okay. I am just going to shift this down a little bit so that we can see number 4 now. So for number 4, I have 4 outside of absolute value bars, 2x minus z. What should I do first? Someone raise your hand. Tell me, what should I do first? I want to hear from somebody I haven't heard from today. Rhonda, you want to tell me? I know I heard from you, but I haven't heard from you as much. Let's hear it.
First step we're gonna do is identify the X.
Mm-hmm.
Two,
Okay, identify x, that's 2,
C is -3.
and z, that's -3.
And then we bring, let's see, bring the 4 down with the,
I'll get you next.
absolute bars.
Okay, so bring the 4 down and your absolute value bars.
2, 2 times 2
2 times 2.
minus -3.
Yes, minus that -3. And close the absolute value. Good. And then Ella, what were you going to say?
Do you think you're gonna get decimals on this or not?
I don't think you should get a decimal, but we'll work it out. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Let me see what you did.
Because for 50.
Oh, you're working ahead. We'll get there. We'll get there. You will get decimals on other problems, but just wait for me, okay? You might get a decimal. Okay, so back to number 4.
Yeah.
Back to number 4. Now I plugged my variables in. Who can tell me what I need to do next? Milena.
For number 4, and then
Take 2 times 2.
Go ahead. Can you say that one more time? I couldn't hear you.
down the board and then absolute.
Okay, so maybe bring down the 4, bring down my absolute value bars. Okay, 2 times 2, which is 4.
And then I think it would be +2.
Yes, yes. So we brought down 2 times 2 is 4. And then Milena noticed that we have minus negative, which means plus. If you don't like doing it this way, you can just bring down 4 minus -3. But if you notice that minus negative and you remember that it means it's really just plus, we can bring down 4 plus 3. Good. Very good. Okay, so we're still on step 2. We haven't gotten our absolute value down to just one number yet. So what do I need to do inside mine?
4 plus 3.
Absolute value. Yeah, we're going to do 4 plus 3. And that's 7. Now, yep.
You'll bring down your 4.
And bring down 4. Now, everybody pause. Do we know what just happened here?
No.
Okay, so Rhonda, you said no, you don't know what happened here. Which part are you not sure about?
Could you put that 7 in parentheses?
Yes, so this was, we had 4 times the absolute value of 4 plus 3. Remember, if there's a number outside of absolute value, it's multiplication. So we brought down 4 plus 3 is 7. And honestly, I kind of skipped a step because we still needed to find the absolute value of 7. I think I was just thinking that, well, it's positive. The absolute value is positive.
Okay. So you don't need the bars?
You don't need the bars if you have a positive number. No.
Okay.
No. Okay. And then my last step, 4 times 7 is
28.
28. And that's our answer for number 4, 28. We circle it. Okay. Before we go to the next page, I'd like everybody to just make sure that they've got all of these written down, that they feel good about these answers. If you have questions, don't be scared to ask. Leave this up for just a minute before we move on. Okay. Am I good to go to the next page? All right. Moving on. Now we're on page 2. We're done with expressions. Now we have 4 equations. Okay, so we are solving equations for both values of x. And then we are graphing the answers on a number line, which I've already drawn the number lines for you. All you have to do is write the numbers, the tick marks, and put a little dot, but we'll run through that. So these questions I've kind of written out in order from least complicated to most complicated. So at each step, don't be afraid to ask questions if you have any. Let's see. Number 5. I have the absolute value of 4x minus 4 equals 36. Remembering our steps, step 1, isolate the absolute value expression. Remember that that just means make sure that this absolute value, there's no numbers outside, there's no numbers on the other part of the outside, it's just the absolute value. So for number 5, this is already isolated, isn't it? It's already by itself. So I don't need to do anything at this step. Now for step 2, somebody raise your hand and tell me, what will I do here? Step 2, I'm creating 2 equations. What 2 equations am I creating? Rhonda, tell me.
4x minus 4
Okay. 4x minus 4
equals 36.
equals 36.
That's the positive one.
Okay, that's my positive equation.
And the next one is 4x minus 4 equals negative 36.
Yes, the next one is 4x minus 4 equals negative 36. We're just changing the sign of the answer. That's what changes. So once we have both of our equations, we can solve both of them. So I'll start with my positive equation. What's a good first step here? Titania, what's a good first step?
Add 4 to both sides.
Add 4 to both sides.
Outside 4, bring down
Good.
4x.
And we'll bring down 4x.
And that equals 40.
40. Good.
Now you divide 4 from both sides.
Perfect. Divide by 4.
Add the 4's cancel, so the x equals 10.
Good. X equals 10. We'll circle that. We've got one of our answers. Now somebody else raise your hand and tell me, how can I solve the other equation, Jessica?
You're gonna add 4 on each side, like you did with the other problem.
So add 4 on each side. I know those will cancel.
4x equals negative 32.
Good. 4x equals, don't forget, this is not 36 plus 4 again. Don't just say, oh, 36 plus 4 is 40, so it's negative 40. That would be wrong. We have negative 36 plus 4, and that is negative 32. You're correct.
And you're just gonna divide 4 on each side.
Yes, divide 4 on each side.
Equals cancel.
4's cancel.
Your x equals negative 8.
X equals negative 8. So I'm taking that negative 32, dividing by 4, and I get x equals negative 8. Good.
That's a question.
Yes, please.
How do you determine if it's negative or positive? Like if you, um, like after you do your,
After I split.
yes,
Mhm.
how do you determine if it's, if you, adding or subtracting?
If I'm adding or subtracting,
Like
Like-
add under, like the -4, add 4, or subtract 4.
okay, so good question. How do you figure out if I need to add 4 or subtract 4? Is that what you're asking? Okay, so this just goes back to our regular, the rules for solving an equation where we have the inverse operations. Remember the opposite operations? Yes. And that is that we first get rid of addition and subtraction. And we know that the opposite of addition is subtraction. So if I had -4 here like this, we would add 4 to get rid of it. But if it was +4, what would I do different? I would subtract 4.
Okay,
Good, good. And then, of course, after that, we get rid of any multiplication and division. These are opposites as well. So that's a good question to ask because it's never a bad idea to make sure we remember those basic rules. So now I've got my x equals 10, x equals -8. How will I graph this? I know you two got it. I know it. I know you know it. I want to hear from some other people. How can I graph this? What do I do? Nita, go ahead. Mm-hmm. So -8 first. Good. And then 10. Good. So I have my tick marks. Now this might seem like a silly extra step, but make sure that on your tick marks, you're also putting a dot, a little point to show that this is an X value. This is an X value. So that would be our graph. That is our answer. That's number 5. I'm going to move that out of the way. Any other questions about number 5? I'll leave that so that we can still see it, but we will look now at number 6. So for number 6, we need to remember what it means if there is a number outside of absolute value bars. What operation is this? It's like distribution. It's multiplication. This means 2 times that. 2 times the absolute value of 1 plus 7x. So when we're solving that equation, first, we're isolating the absolute value expression. Is this expression, absolute value of 1 plus 7x, is it already all by itself?
No.
No. I got to get rid of that 2. How? Go ahead.
Right.
Yes, Rhonda.
Never mind.
We are going to do what? Each L.
Division.
We're going to do division. This is multiplication here. So to get rid of 2 times this, we're going to divide by 2. Okay. Now, when I do that, I'm dividing by 2. That's going to cancel that 2 out. Now, the next step, we want to bring down everything that's left. I still have absolute value. 1 plus 7x, close the absolute value, equals 100 divided by 2. That is going to be 50. And now we look at our equation and we reevaluate. We want to think now. Am I to the point where my absolute value is by itself? Yes,
Oh, yeah.
we are, because look, that equal sign separates the sides. If I cover up everything else, there's nothing left, just the absolute value. So we're ready. We're good. Now that it's by itself, somebody raise your hand. Tell me, what will I do next, Jessica?
Don't you make a second problem,
Yes,
negative problem?
we're splitting this in two. So I'll bring this down. 1 plus 7x equals 50. And what will my second equation be, Jessica?
It'll be 1 plus 7x equals negative 50.
Yes, 1 plus 7x equals negative 50. We're changing the sign of the answer.
Do we keep the absolute value bar or we take it away?
Whenever you're splitting it into two equations, that's a
Yeah.
good question too. I would get rid of the absolute value bars because bringing them down is inevitably going to make you think that it's something else,
Okay,
and
I'll
it
just
might
make
cause a
sure.
mistake. No, that's a great question. So
Right.
now we have our two equations, and we're just gonna solve them. Question?
No.
Okay. And let's hold off. Let's hold off. Now this can be a little bit tricky because I see 1 plus 7x. Remember, we want to get rid of addition and subtraction first. What am I getting rid of
You're going to subtract.
first? We'll subtract 1 from both sides. The 1s will cancel. We'll bring down 7x equals 50 minus 1 is 49. Now we divide. And x equals 7. So we got a nice pretty answer for this one. Your next equation, I will forewarn you, you will get a very ugly decimal. So that's, if you got a decimal and you're freaking out, don't freak out. You probably did it right. Yes, you probably did it right. So somebody now, raise your hand. Who can guide me through solving the next one? Michelle.
Negative 1.
Mm-hmm. Good.
1 that cancel.
My ones cancel.
7x equals negative 51.
Good. Negative 51.
Then you're going to divide 7 on both sides.
Divide 7.
7 get canceled, and then I got negative 7.28.
Okay, so let's type it in. Let's see what we get exactly. Negative 51 divided by 7. Okay, this is the ugly decimal I'm talking about. So I have x equals negative 7.285714286, and so on. When you get a decimal like this, that's okay. It's not, doesn't mean that you got the wrong answer. Decimals exist. We are going to put negative 7 point, you can write 2, 8, 2, 9. You could write 7.3. You could round it. As long as it's close to this, that's going to work. Now, if you're nervous about rounding, you could always be that person that writes all of the decimals. Negative 7.2857114. You could do that, but I like 1 or 2 decimal places just because it's a little cleaner. I could say I'm going to put x equals negative 7.3.
That would be easier.
That will be a little bit
Yeah,
easier.
that's why I was wondering, how would you write that on the number line?
Yes. So on your number line, we're just going to have a decimal, and that's okay. That's totally okay. So I have x equals positive 7 and x equals negative 7.3, which one goes first? The negative. The negative always goes first if the other answer is positive. So that's always smaller. So on my graph, I will write negative 7.3 with that and my positive 7 with a little dot. Good. Good. All right. I'll leave that up for a minute. If you have any questions about this one, this is a good time to ask. No, I gotta make it still. Gotta make it after this, but I don't know how long it'll take. We'll see. All right. So can we move on to the next one? Does anyone need more time? Okay, moving on to number 7. Okay, we're adding one more step to this problem. We go back to the beginning, remembering that the first thing we need to do is get the absolute value by itself. So if you think you may lose track of the things that you need to get rid of, it's not a bad idea to do something like this. Maybe circle. I see I have a plus 7 I need to get rid of, and I have a 6. This is 6 times. So we will eventually divide that. What should I get rid of first? Each up.
7.
The 7. How do I do that?
7.
Minus 7 on both sides. That will cancel. And I'll bring down the rest. 6. Absolute value, 8x minus 7 equals, let's see, 61 minus 7, 54. Good. Okay. Is my absolute value by itself?
No.
No. I got one more thing. How do I get rid of 6?
Divide it.
Yes, we need to divide by 6 now because remember that is multiplication. Divide by 6. That will finally get rid of that. So I'll bring down absolute value, 8x minus 7 equals 54 divided by 6, that's 9. Okay, you're right, 9. Good.
Now we're done.
Now we're done. Almost. We're done with getting the absolute value by itself. We are done with step 1. What do I do from here, Rhonda?
I'm guessing. Do we make 2?
Yes.
Okay.
You're not guessing. You're right. You are right. So let's split this into 2 equations. A positive one and a negative one. What will I write for my equations?
8x minus 7 equals 9.
Good. 8x minus 7 equals 9. And what's my other one?
8x minus 7 equals negative 9.
Yes. 8x minus 7 equals negative 9. Perfect. And now we just solve these equations like normal. Yes, we'll add 7 to both sides. I'll bring down 8x
Equals 16.
equals, yes, 9 plus 7 is 16. And divide 8.
2.
And we get x equals 2 for our first answer. Good. Okay. Now for my second equation, same first step, same second step. We'll get a different answer though. We're still going to add 7 to both sides. But now, what's negative 9 plus 7? Negative 2. Now you will get another decimal on this one. At this step, we just do the same thing as the last one. Divide by 8. And -2 divided by 8 is -0.25. So I get x equals negative. You could just put 0.25. You could also, I like to put a 0 in front, -0.25. There we go. And on my graph, which one comes first?
-0.25.
Yes, ma'am. -0.25. And then 2. I'll leave that one up for a minute to give everyone a chance to copy it down and ask any questions you might have. Move on to number 8. Now, number 8, we have a couple of things that we're going to have to be really careful about. I see 4 minus 6 times the absolute value of x minus 6. So, out of the things outside my absolute value, what do we have going on here? Titania, what's going on in this one?
You want to get rid of your 4 minus 6 first.
Yeah, how would I do that?
Subtract 4 from 6.
Now, that is a very good idea, but there's no plus or anything over here in between the 6 and the absolute value. So we know that this 6 is being multiplied, right? So I can't do subtraction first. Oh. Can't, Bichelle?
Then we have 4 first,
We gotta get rid of 4 first.
and then minus 4.
We have a positive 4 here that we need to get rid of. It's just like, and if you have to, you can even draw parentheses here. Let me get a clean sticky note. If I have 4 minus like 3 times x plus 2. I don't know. This is a random equation, okay? Since I made the absolute value bars into parentheses instead, we're going to ignore this problem. Is this easier to see that I can't do 4 minus 3 first? I got to get rid of the 4 because it's -3 times those things, right? Whenever we have a number that is right outside of grouping symbols, just like we talked about on the first page, that number is anchored to this item. These, or I guess even that minus sign, these are stuck together because the 6 is right outside of those absolute value bars. So let's finish this problem, and I'm going to do what Bichelle told me to do. We're going to get rid of this positive 4 first, okay? We have minus 4, minus 4. And the 4s would cancel. Now, when I bring everything down, I still have minus 6 outside. And I still have absolute value, x minus 6 equals -72. Do we see what happened at that first step? We got rid of that positive 4, and we still have minus 6 times all that. Can we get rid of minus 6 now? Or -6? Yes. How? What do we do?
Division.
Division. Because this is being multiplied. So we divide by -6 on both sides. That will cancel those -6's over here. And then we'll have the absolute value of x minus 6 equals 12. Yes, just gonna double check that. -72 divided by -6. Yep, that's positive 12. And good thing we got a positive number, because what would happen if this was still negative? Anybody remember? We talked about it briefly. No solution. Yes, good.
Yeah.
If we had a negative number over here, this would be no solution. So good thing it's positive. Good thing it's positive. Okay. What do I do now?
Make another problem.
Make another problem. We're going to split it up. Split it up. Because now we have the absolute value by itself. Okay. So I'm going to bring down x minus 6 equals 12. And what is my other equation?
X minus 6 equals -12.
Good. X minus 6 equals -12. And from here, these are simpler equations at the end. We'll just add 6 to both sides.
18.
Yes. X equals 18. Same thing over here. Add 6 to get rid of -6. And what is -12 plus 6?
-6.
-6. There's our answers. There's our answers. So now we just put them on the graph. Which one goes first? -6. All right. And then 18. So I will leave these up for a minute and let you guys kind of soak that in.
Circle those on the graph or just leave them as is?
Just leave them as is. You don't need to circle the graph. Just make sure that you are putting points on the numbers as well. Good question, though. And before we go to the last page, there's 4 graphing questions. If you've got questions about the equations, just let me know. Let me know. We can absolutely talk more about this. Stop for a second. Make sure everybody's got it down. Oh, what'd you do? Oh, I bet your hand's hurting. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and flip to the 3rd page. Yes. Yes. Okay, and that works. Okay, so on page 3, I tried to organize this a little better for you so you know exactly what to do and there's no question about what I'm looking for. For these last 4 questions, we are going to identify the slope and the vertex of each of these absolute value functions. And then we're going to graph the function. I've also given you an XY chart so that you can label your coordinates for me. So, something that is good to remember. I know we wrote a sticky note about this, I believe yesterday. This equation form. Remember, y equals a times the absolute value of x minus h plus k. Remember, your vertex can be found using h and k. Your slope is whatever a is. So, looking at number 1, let's identify a, h, and k. what is my value for A? Go ahead, Titania. What's A? A is 2. Let me get smaller things. A is 2.
H, -3.
Good. H is -3. Remember, your H, what's inside, is the opposite because, can somebody tell me why? Why will this not be +3 for H? It's a little bit tough to explain it, but does anybody know why?
This is the solution, it's because the solution you gave us
Yes.
is. It's
Right.
it's inside.
Yep. It's inside, like H is inside.
Then it changes.
It does change inside. I wonder though, why?
Oh, right.
Does anybody know why? You are correct though. If you know it, that's good. Does anybody know why it changes? Kind of. It's kind of something to do with the absolute value, but it's something even more specific. Nobody knows?
What did you say?
Does anybody know why this is going to be a -3 for H instead of +3, even though there's a plus sign? What causes us to have to change H, the sign? Do we know why? Not sure?
I don't think I was here from that.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you why, in case anybody's curious, or in case, I guess we all forgot. Do you know?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Told me.
Okay, so tell me. Tell me.
Because there's somebody.
Yes. Okay. It's because there is a minus in the original formula or equation for absolute value equations. The minus is part of the original equation. So over here, remember the only way to get a plus if we're starting with a minus is if H is negative, because minus negative makes the plus. So really, let me get another blank sticky note. And I'm not going to ask you to explain this, but it is interesting to know that x plus 3, remember we have x minus h inside. If h was -3, like we say it is, then look what happens when I plug it in. X minus h is -3.
I'll switch.
And that minus negative becomes x plus 3. Do you see now how h has to be negative if there's a plus? Yeah. I won't ask you to work all that out and explain it, but remember your h changes because the minus is part of the formula, okay? So, good things to note.
I might add something.
Yeah, go ahead.
A good way to figure out what your H is, if you're ever wondering, it's gonna be whatever it is that makes the whole thing 0 in those bars.
Ooh, that's a good way to think of it too. So what Jeremiah just said is, what number could I plug in for x, basically, right?
Yep.
What number could I plug in for x to make the absolute value disappear? Well, 3 plus -3 would give me 0.
Right.
So, -3.
Yeah, that's right.
That does make sense. That's a good way to think of it. I love it. Okay, good discussion, you guys. Good discussion. What's K?
-2.
Yes, K is -2. That one stays the same.
So,
Okay, so I know what H is. I know what K is. What's my vertex? Go ahead, Titania. What is it?
-3, -2.
Yes. -3, -2.
They're always.
Is-
Your vertex is always the H.
Yes,
Yeah.
your vertex is always, and that's a great note to make, HK. HK is your vertex. And what is my slope?
2 over 1.
It's A, which is 2, and we like to put that in a fraction, 2 over 1.
Question.
Yes.
How is it two? I mean, I know the A is right over
Mhm.
but,
Go ahead, Rhonda. I'm listening.
yeah, I just.
So are you asking why are we putting 1 underneath?
Yeah.
Okay, so the reason we need to turn it into a fraction is because if I just said my slope was 2,
Mhm.
and then I start at my vertex and I start, okay, I'm going to go up 2. Well, how much over do I go? So I need to make it a fraction because the top number tells me how far up I go. The bottom tells me how far left and right I go. So it's that, just like what you said, rise over run. That's a wonderful question. Rise over run. Okay. Do I have enough information to graph this function? I do. I do. So do you have a question, Titania?
No, I was doing helping with the coordinates.
Okay, let's wait. We're not there yet.
Okay.
So first we're going to do our vertex.
Yeah.
We have -3 is our x or y value.
Okay.
That's x. So I'm going to go to the x-axis, which I labeled for you. We're going to find -3. There it is. Then my y value is -2. So I'm going to find, there's my -2. -3 down 2. That is my vertex. Okay. Now, once I have my vertex, someone raise your hand. Let's give somebody else a chance, Titania. So what do I go from here? What am I using to find more points? Rhonda, what am I doing?
I'm starting at the vertex and I'm going up 2
Yes.
and I'm going over 1.
Yes. Our slope is 2 over 1, which tells us from our vertex we go up 2 over 1. So up 1, 2 over 1. There's our next point. Now what?
Do it again.
Do it again. Just keep doing it. Up 1, 2 over 1. Up 1, 2 over 1. You really could have stopped there, but sometimes I like to keep going because it gives me a straighter line. Okay, I've gone as far as I can go. Now, once I've done this, what do I do next? Go ahead, Titania, what do I do?
Go back to your vertex and go to your left.
Okay, so now we go back to the vertex,
2 over 1.
up to same thing, but this time over the other way. Over 1 the other way. We have to mirror this. And really, if it helps, you could draw a little dotted line where your axis of symmetry would be. You don't have to, but sometimes it helps to see. Like I'm 1 space away on this one, so I'm going to go to that middle. I'm 1 space away here. See that? Up 2 over 1 still. If I wanted to go to this point, I'm over 2 spaces. I could just count 2 more. Just like that. But if you want to keep using the slope as a guide, do that. Up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. And now we just connect the dots. Now we just have one thing left to do here. We need to fill out our XY chart. And something I would recommend is if you want your chart to come out having that kind of nice pattern where the numbers match up with each other on the Y's, make your vertex that middle point C so that you can start over here, A, B, C, D, E. This is what I would recommend. A, B, C, D, E. So if I do it like this, you're going to see what I mean by nice pattern. So starting with point A, what would this coordinate be? I know you want to do it, Titania. Tell me point A.
-5, -3.
Yes, -5. A lines up with -5 for X.
And 2.
And you're correct, 2 for Y. Now let me show you something. You don't have to do it this way. If this confuses you, you can go one at a time. But if you lay your points out where your vertex is C, I know that E is also going to be 2 for Y because these are the same. And you'll see, because look, E lines up with 2. A and E. What's my point for B? Michelle. -4, 0. If I want, I could go ahead down to D, and I know that's also going to be 0 for Y, because B and D are on the same line. Again, you don't have to do that if it confuses you. Point C was my vertex. So that one should be easy. -3, -2. Now point D, what's my X value? -2. Point E, what's my X value? -1. There you go. That's your XY chart. Now, does anybody have questions about this one, especially that XY chart? Is anybody confused about any of it? Before the ABCDE? Does this make sense now? Good, 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 good. I'm glad that helps. Okay, so see, yeah, you too. All right. I will leave my screen so that we can still see number 9, and we will start taking a look at number 10. Let's start by figuring out A, H, and K. First, what is my value for A? For A. Go ahead, Rhonda. What is it?
I'm guessing.
Okay.
With A being -1.
Yes, A is -1. There's no number here. And there's a minus. Good job. So it is -1. Very good. What's H?
+1.
Yes, ma'am. +1.
And 1.
Right there. And then K is 1. Good. And here I'll circle where we're getting A, H, and K from. But sometimes I think that helps. So if my vertex is HK, what's my vertex? 1, 1. Good. 1, 1. Very nice. 1, 1. And my slope? Yes, -1/1. Okay. We have vertex. We have slope. we can graph it. Remember, your vertex is your starting point. So x is 1, y is 1. They're both positive. 1, 1. We're starting here. Let me zoom in while we graph. And I can always go back to the last question if anyone needs to see it. Okay, so I've got my vertex. And again, if you want to do a couple of things at once, I can already say this is C, 1, 1, my vertex. Now be very careful when we go from one point to the next. My slope is negative. What does that change? You'll go down. You're going to go down when it's negative instead of up. Okay, and then you still go left and right the same way.
Yep.
So from your vertex, I will go down 1, over 1, 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 down 1, over 1. Back to the vertex, down 1, over the other way. Down 1, over 1. Yes, you do not have to do this many dots. I'm just doing it, I guess. You don't need that many. And then I'll just connect them, and then we'll label some points. And I made my vertex C. So I'm going to go ahead and label that. And again, if you want your points to have a nice pattern like this one did, where the Y's match, I would go backwards from C and make the first two before it A, B, C, D, E. I would do it like this. And then I'll label the rest. A, B, C, D, E. What is point A? Titania. Negative 1 is my X. Negative 1 is also my Y. B is right in the middle. That's nice. 0, 0. C, we already got. Vertex. D,
2, 0.
2, 0. And E,
-1.
good. 3. Do you have a question, Rhonda?
I'm just going to say, because I was going to put 0, 2. Does it matter?
On for point D?
Yeah.
Yes, it
It
does
does
matter.
matter.
The X has to be first. So we're looking at the X axis. Yes, it would matter. That's all right. That's okay. And then again, you'll notice, look at this. These Y's match. These Y's match. See that? If you label your points the way that I'm doing it, you'll have a whole nother way to double check and make sure that your XY chart is lining up the way it should. Okay, I'll leave that up for just a minute. Let everybody finish writing if they are still doing that, or if y'all are still writing. Okay. And I do want to mention it is 2 o'clock right now. We are going to finish the practice quiz before taking break because we're almost done. We're gonna power through, and then you will have the rest of class to take as long a break as you need. Now, don't feel like if you need to get up and use the bathroom or something, you can do that. I'm not gonna get mad.
Appreciate that.
Yes. I know. I think sometimes you sit in a class enough days in a row, which y'all do, your body like adjusts to the schedule. It's like, okay, time to go to the bathroom. It's 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
So
Really?
if your body's doing that, listen to it. Okay. Does anybody still need to see number 10 or can we move forward? Or does anyone have questions about 10? Okay. Let's look at 11 then. Yes, Jean. Do you have a question? What is it? That's
I
okay.
can find when you find this. I don't know. I want to organize the point. But I
Yes.
want to organize.
So these are like coordinates. X is -3. Here's X. For C, -3. Y is -2. Lines up with Y for C. And then we're choosing B, A. So A, B, C, D, E. We're going in order. Let me see if I can show you on mine. I'm going to pause. All right, so number 11. I have a new function. Y equals the absolute value of x minus 4 plus 3. So I've heard quite a bit from y'all too, and I love that. But I want to hear now from somebody, anybody, that has not answered a question on this page yet. What is my value for A, H, and K? Anybody want to give it a shot?
1.
A is 1. Good. There's no number, so it's 1. What is my H?
+4.
Good. +4. And K?
3.
Good. 3. Perfect. 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 So, what is my vertex?
1/1.
Oh, that's my slope.
Low.
That's okay. So slope is 1/1. Very good. What's my vertex?
4, 3.
Yes, 4, 3, HK. Okay. So we have all of that information. We've got it. We've got enough information to graph. Let's go ahead and put our vertex on the graph. I know X is 4, Y is 3. So X axis, I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Y, here's 3. I'm going to go up 2, 3. Right here. So 4, 3. That is my vertex. I'm going to go ahead and label that as point C. A, B, C, D, E. So we could even write 4, 3 on our chart. And if this helps to know what this chart is talking about, this is all it is. It's your coordinates, but in a chart. That's what that is. Okay. Now that I have my vertex labeled, where do I go to get more points? Go ahead, Titania.
Up 1/1.
Up 1/1. That's what our slope says to do. So up 1/1. There we go. Up 1/1. Back to the vertex. Up 1 over again. Up 1/1. Other direction. Up 1/1. Up 1/1. Okay. We'll connect our dots. Now I'm going to label my points. Remember, since I made C my vertex, I'm going to go backwards from C. B, A. A, B, C. Next one, D, E. Michelle, what is point A?
5.
2, 5. Good. What is point B?
3, 4.
B is 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait. Oh, that threw me off because the vertex is 4, 3. It is 3, 4. You're right.
Yes.
You're right. It just threw me off. Okay. Point C is our vertex, 4, 3. What's point D?
5, 4.
5, 4. And point E?
3, 5.
Yes, 6, 5. And look at this. We'll slow down. We'll slow it down. Our first y value matches our last y value. See that? Our second matches our second to last. Look, it makes that little pattern. Gives you another way to check your answer. That's what I call it. All right. Okay, we've just got one more question. One more. Number 12. We'll wait just a minute before we move on. I'm going to let everybody have a chance to finish writing and to ask any questions that may come up. I'll pause the video for a moment. Last one. Number 12, I have y equals 1/2 times the absolute value of x plus 1. This one is also a little tricky. Let's label things. Rhonda, yes. Go ahead. What are you thinking?
Okay. H is what?
H is on the inside, right?
Mhm.
Is there any number
Oh,
inside?
no, that's 0.
Yes, H. Remember, it's x minus H inside. If there's no number for H is 0. K would be 1. Good, good. K is 1. What's A?
-1/2.
Good. A is -1/2. It's that there. Okay, so Rhonda, back to you. What's my vertex? Oh, wait. I was asking Rhonda. That's okay. That's okay. I was asking Rhonda. That's all right.
My voice changed.
Oh.
That's okay.
That's okay. You are correct, though. You are correct. It is 0, 1. Oh, let me use my blue. That's going to make me mix things up. 0, 1. And how about my slope? It's -1/2. It's A. Whatever A is -1/2. Okay, so I have my vertex. I have my slope. We can graph this. We'll start with that vertex. 0 is the x value, 1 is the y value. So when I graph this, x is 0, y is 1. Just up 1. And we could go ahead and put that on our chart. We don't have to, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll call that my C, and it's 0, 1. Now, where do I go from here to find more points?
I'm done.
You're all done?
Yeah, I don't do the bonus
Okay.
because I must doing something for my daddy.
okay.
She go to play golf.
Okay. Oh, well, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
That's fine. You're fine. You can be done. Let
Yeah.
me mark yours. All right. Thank you, Janine. Here, I'll let you, or I'll hold on to it. All right. Let me see. Did I pause? No. Yes. Titania.
Go down 1 over 2.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, so because that slope is negative, don't forget that means we go down 1 over 2. So down 1 over 1, 2. Next point's here. Down 1 again over 1, 2.
Down 1 over 2.
And again down 1 over 1, 2.
And go back up to your vortex.
Yep, vertex. Okay, same thing, different direction. Down 1, left 1, 2. Down 1, left 2. Down 1, left 2. There we go. We'll connect those dots. Okay, and then let's label our coordinates. So this is C, D, E, D, A, B, C, D, E.
And A is going to be -4.
Good. A is -4. Oh, let me label this first so I don't get mixed up. A, B, C, D, E. And A, X lines up with -4. Y lines up with -1.
-2, 0.
B is -2. Hi, Angel. -2 for X and 0 for Y.
D is -1, 2. Oh, means 0, 2.
Good. D is 0 for, what's my X value for D?
0.
0, is it?
Yes, that's on the line.
Let's think about it. The X-axis is left to right.
3, 2, 0.
Oh, it is 2, 0.
Yeah.
Let me zoom in. It's hard to see
I
it.
got it written down. I don't know why I can't do it right.
That's okay.
I'm
So
done with
remember,
that.
we started here at C and we went down 1 over 1, 2.
Yeah, 2, 0.
So 2 is my X value. 0 is my Y. Okay?
-1.
Yes. And Beachell, does your graph match? I know you said 3. Okay, you just couldn't see it. I get you. Good. Okay, and then my last point,
4, -1.
X is 4, Y is again -1. And we can see again our Y values match up. Very nice. Okay, let me zoom out just a little bit, let everybody see all of that. And then we'll look at the bonus. That's it, you guys. If you don't care about the bonus, you're good to go. But never hurts to stay and try to get some extra points. Never hurts. So I'm going to leave this up for just a minute, make sure everybody's ready before we move forward. I'm just going to pause this.
I did the bonus already.
Nice. Beachell, did you have a question?
No, I was stretching.
Oh, you were stretching. Okay, that's all right. Okay, anybody still need to see this? Okay, what we'll do now is flip to page 4. And now let's talk about this bonus. So this is optional, but if you do this, you can earn some extra points. It says find the mistakes in the student's work. So there's 3 things I'll want you to do. 1, identify the mistakes, meaning be like a teacher. You're doing like what I do. Whenever you make a mistake, I'll circle it and I'll say what went wrong. Next, we want to fix the mistake or correct the student's work. So you'll want to give the correct answer. And then, for another point, explain the student's misunderstanding. And we'll talk about each step as we go. So whenever you are correcting a student's work, you're going to get into the mind of the teacher. You guys get to be me for the bonus. You're looking at the original problem. I see I have y equals 1/2 as my first number. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Y equals 1/2 times the absolute value of x plus 1 minus 2. What I would recommend doing is I would recommend trying to kind of figure out the answer on your own first, and then see, do these answers match? So whenever we're solving an equation like, or graphing an equation like this student looked at this problem and said, okay, my vertex is 1, -2, my slope is 1/2, and so they went down and graphed it, labeled their points, just like we did on the last page. Does anybody notice something wrong? Go ahead, Titania. What do you see?
The H is wrong.
The H
Supposed to be
is
-1.
wrong. Ooh, okay, so here's what we could do. So the H, as in the 1,
Yes.
I would circle this.
I'm gonna arrow to the H up there.
Yes. And circle this. And we could say H equals -1. 1. And you don't have to write it exactly. I want you to like kind of pretend you're the teacher, like write whatever note you would write to this student. So we identified the mistakes and we fixed it here. So if they got the wrong vertex, their whole graph is going to be wrong, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we need to fix the graph too. So if the vertex is, or if H is wrong, what is their actual vertex supposed to be?
-1, -2.
Yes, their vertex, I might even write HK and say -1 is H, -2 is K.
I already did the whole graph.
Well, good. So then we could look at their graph and see, is their vertex in the right spot?
No, goes on the other
No, it's not. So I'm going to look, and we can just do it on the same graph as them. I can see, well, X is -1 for my vertex. So instead of going right 1, down 2, like this student did,
No, up 1.
we will, oh, not up 1, let's wait. We're graphing the vertex first, right?
Yeah. You
That's okay.
go to -1 and -2.
Yeah, so our X value is -1. They got the Y right, so it's at the right depth here, it's at low enough, but it needed to be -1 for X, so we could correct it and write this here. Okay, so we fixed their vertex. Did they have the slope right?
Yeah, the slope is correct.
Okay, they wrote the correct slope. Did they graph the correct slope?
No.
They didn't. Okay, somebody else. Can somebody else tell me what this student did wrong with their slope? They switched the 1 and 2. Look at this. Starting at C, they went up 1, 2 over 1. 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 2 over 1. I would say the slope is 1/2. Like if this was a student that I was grading, I might say the slope is 1/2. I might say you actually marked that correctly, but you just graphed it backwards. So you got that right, but your graph is showing a slope of 2/1. Now, again, I'm not looking for an exact word like this. You write however you would do it if you were a teacher. I'll take it. So you got that right, but your graph is showing a slope of 2/1. So if the slope is 1/2, they should have gone up 1/2. So we'll want to show that from our vertex. Up 1/2. Up 1/2. Up 1/2. Up 1/2. Up 1/2. Up 1/2. You can do as much as you want. I'll just connect my dots. And on this quiz, I'm going to be putting a couple of mistakes so you can earn points for identifying some mistakes, but not all. Maybe you don't, maybe you just noticed the vertex was wrong and you didn't notice the slope. You can still earn some bonus for saying the vertex was wrong. So we were supposed to identify the mistakes. We've done that. We identified quite a few. There's even one more, but yes, go ahead.
You said one more?
There is another one. And it just,
Coordinates.
yeah, the coordinates. If your graph is wrong, your coordinates are going to match the wrong graph. Now, I'm not going to make you go through and do all of this, but if you notice that these will all be wrong, you could just point and say, you will need new coordinates. Like your chart will be wrong because your graph is wrong. I'll just say your chart will change too. So there's lots of things to find, lots of opportunities to earn some bonus points here. Let's say you just fix the graph. You can earn bonus for that. Let's say you just see the vertex is wrong. You can earn bonus for that. You just see they sloped it wrong. You can earn bonus. These are all lots of opportunities. And so this is an example of what I might write on the bonus question. Does anybody have questions about the bonus? Any questions at all? Okay. Question?
Can I give you the points?
What'd you say?
Can I go ahead and grab the points for you?
Sure.
A is -50.
Okay.
B is -3, 1.
-3, 1. Oh, -3.
-1.
Good. -1.
C is -1, -2.
-1, -2.
D is 1, -1.
1, -1.
And E is 3, 0.
3, 0. Good. This part you don't have to do, but you know, it's more points you could earn. So just a few things you could do here to fix this problem. And guys, that is our practice quiz. I'm going to go ahead and end our video, but I will leave this up if you're still writing it down. You are free to go if you have this filled out and done. If you want a blank copy of the practice quiz to go home and study with, just ask me for, there's some up at the front of the room. You can grab one if you need it.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll still be here. You're welcome to stay, but you do not have to. You're free to go. That is it.